Hello, so today I'm going to go over 4 different ways that you can celebrate and spring into the spring equinox, because on the 21st, I believe, or the 20th, the Monday in the UK, it's the spring equinox, and I like to celebrate each equinox and tune into my energy and what I want to see in the next few months or let go of. So this is some of the things that I do for myself. So I recommend getting some cacao or a tea or coffee, matcha, anything that you want to drink. But cacao I'm going to talk about today a little bit because it's a great way to have a ceremony at the equinox. But yeah, I got some cacao. I've finished it now. But yeah. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kay and I like to talk about all things about slow living, breathwork and nature well-being. So today I'm going to go over 4 different ways to celebrate the spring equinox. So these are ways to enter a new season within our lives as well as a new season within the environment around us. So obviously the spring equinox is just for half of the world. And the other half you will have to be looking at your winter and autumn equinox instead. But it's basically when it's equal day and night. On this spring equinox, I believe it's also a new moon, which is all about new beginnings as well. So astronomically, it's a big day. But of course it's all about your intention and you can make it as a big thing or a positive or negative thing. But we'll be today talking about 4 different ways that I myself like to celebrate and you can also celebrate. Number 1, and I'm going to talk about cacao. So Mama cacao, ceremonial cacao, not the type that you just buy from the supermarket, but actual like blessed and raw version of cacao that actual Mayans or people like the Guatemalans or people from Peru have actually made, and it has a higher vibration because of the way it's been made ceremonially. But I'm not going to say have a cacao ceremony because there's actually no such thing as this in the Mayans culture. I like to call it instead a cacao circle or sitting with cacao because it is a plant medicine. So I recommend brewing with 20 grams. You can go up to 40 grams. I don't recommend doing 40 grams too often because it is plant medicine and you should sort of respect that. So I recommend 20 grams for having a cacao circle. If, say, you're pregnant or breastfeeding or you have some other illness, that you should maybe then Google if it's suitable for you to have this much cacao and then either go down to like 5 grams or swap it for a tea. It's mostly about the intention that you have with what you are consuming. It's really important that you sort of have a prayer, so not in the religious sense, but I will have my cacao before I drink it, and I will set attention, close down my eyes, give the cacao to my heart, tune into the spirit of cacao, because she's known as Mama Cacao, and basically plant medicine you're sitting with. But I also give thanks to the Mayans, as well as whoever's made my cacao, from wherever it's been made, because there are many different types. They're mostly South American, places like Guatemala and Peru. And just giving thanks to the wisdom holders of cacao as well. I've had cacao before where it's been actually blessed by the wisdom keepers, and it's just very important that you give thanks and gratitude, because if you are not from that place or area, or you're a different culture, then you should really understand the history and give thanks basically to the people that made it, as well as I like to give thanks to the earth, sky, fire, water. I'm never too sure if I even should be talking about cacao, but she's served me in so many ways. She's opened my heart, and I just find so much benefit from feeling and raising these feelings of love and connection. And also cacao, it boosts your mood by activating like oxytocin and serotonin. So oxytocin is the love hormone, serotonin basically makes us happy. And yeah, we have a ceremony and then do other stuff that we enjoy. So I will do breathwork, journaling, meditation, and I would just connect with myself and my heart space. And yeah, it's a nice way to start when you have the spring equinox ceremony. So, number 2. And I am going to talk a little bit about nature. So you want to basically go out in nature, go for a walk, go for a hike, just get outside where there's some greenery. And if you're in a city, you can go to a park and just notice how there is nature everywhere. We ourselves, when we often forget this, are nature. We think we're sort of higher than the animals and the plants, but really we're all the same. We are animals, even if we can talk and we think we have more feelings than the others, which I don't think is true. It's just, society in general thinks this. So yeah, I want you to connect to nature. I want you to just go for a walk. Just notice how spring is starting to show up in your area. So in the moment in the UK, I actually woke up to some frost, and it's been snowing this week, which is really strange for March. I had a look at my photos last year in March, and I was literally like wild swimming and enjoying nature, which then brings me on to another way you can enjoy the spring equinox, and that is to go for a wild swim or a wild dip, as it's really refreshing and it will wake up your senses and connection to the water and help you feel refreshed for the start of spring, and from coming out of winter where things were maybe a bit darker and we felt like we had to be inside, warm, and maybe you felt lethargic, even slightly sad. A lot of people have that, myself included. So spring is really about noticing how greenery is popping up and how that also relates to ourselves. And you can enjoy nature however you feel best. You can even just go sit on your balcony or go sit in your garden and sit with your plants. Just notice how they're blooming, and how also that if you think about winter, it's dark and you can imagine the earth and the plants, they're a seed, they haven't germinated yet. And we can also see ourselves as this. So in winter we are sort of inwards, we are maybe germinating things, and then as spring comes you pop out of the soil into the light and you grow. And that's how spring can help us look after ourselves. Noticing that it's okay to be a seed underground, but now it's time to pop up and awaken. And New Year's resolutions, I always forget about them because actually spring is when I start to feel more alive within myself. So yeah, there's number 2, go out in nature. And then number 3, I recommend some breath work. So I have 2 types of breath that you could try today or whenever. So the first breathwork practice I recommend doing is, because it's Equinox, it's to do a balancing breath. And my favourite one is Nada Shodhana, and it means equal part breathing. And how you do this is you get your hand, and this is called a mudra, and you'll have your thumb out and your pinky, and then you'll cover, well, you always start with your, I always forget, I have to check, your right nostril, and then you cover that right nostril, and then you breathe in through the left. And then you pinch and hold. You don't have to do it really hard. And then release, and then exhale. Before inhaling, pinch, release the pinky and exhale. Inhale, pinch, release the thumb, exhale, inhale, and so on. I actually have a video on this, so I will link it here so you can follow along for yourself. And the next breath is more enlivening. Dyslexia. This is more enlivening, so this is like the Wim Hof or connected breathing, and I recommend just 3 rounds. And if possible, do this before getting into some cold water. It could be a shower, but nature and connecting to nature in this way is perfect too. So I also have a video here on this one. When you do this, it's sort of like it's like full breath in, let go completely, but you're connecting each breath. And you do this 30 times before exhaling, and then holding for as long as possible. So don't hold too much if it's new to you, but then after you feel the need to breathe again, just inhale through the nose. And then I like to hold again for 10 seconds at the top with the inhale, and then exhale. And then on the next breath, start another 30. Be fast or slow, just go at a pace that feels comfortable for you, and this is going to energize you, and also it sort of makes you feel good, and then you feel ready for spring and like, what can I do? And this leads us on to the 4th one, which is journaling. So with journaling, I have 5 prompts for you today. I will put them on the screen, but yeah. The first one is, what has been germinating within you over winter? So this can be sort of like a new seed. Maybe you've been working on yourself, or maybe you also just feel sad and burnt out and tired still. But what can be seen as good about this? Like for myself, I've been working on my self-confidence, very low self-worth. And I noticed this, so I joined some courses to help raise this, and I started therapy. And these are basically all seeds that are ready to be germinated. Maybe it won't all happen at once because spring is a few months, but can you see how you've been working on yourself is about to sprout, basically. And then the next question is there any darkness from the winter that you wish to return to light to grow in a new way? So is there any way that you have seen this darkness or sadness within you, and how are you ready to release it, basically? Within myself, I've been battling with my thoughts of self-worth, so this kind of relates to the last question as well. So I can see this darkness within me, and I don't like to say that things are good or bad, but they feel heavy and dense, and yeah, I've worked on them and I'm ready to release and turn into light basically anything that I've been going through and how I've been feeling. So you can do this too. Have a look and think about how you can turn this darkness into light. And the third question is, where do you need more balance in life? So this is based basically because of the equinox, so it's equal sun and dark. So is there anything that you wish to find balance? So for me, I thrive with routine and I've fallen off it in winter. I will do it every few days, but I want to come back to doing it every day, even for 10 minutes, because it's really beneficial for my mood and connecting to myself before I connect with anyone else in the day. So I want to find balance, but finding a way to improve, or not improve, but a way to incorporate this back into my life. And that's just one of the ways that I wish to find balance. And the fourth question, where do you wish to grow in the next 3 months? So this is sort of like manifestation and feeling good, and how do you want to see yourself in the next 3 months? What do you want to do? What fun activities? It could be going on holiday, it could be posting more on social media, or starting that business that you've been waiting for, that you're just not quite ready. Dream big, basically. I want you to dream big with this question. We've gone over the darker, kind of serious questions, and now these are how we're going to see our life improve and grow and bud open into beautiful flowers and grass and green leaves, and you know, what you've noticed in nature. And then the last question is, what can you feel awakening within yourself this spring? So for me, I can see myself growing my business, posting more on YouTube and social media, hosting retreats with wild swimming, cacao, nature mindfulness. This is what I did last year, and yeah, this is how I want to see myself awakening most this year. And obviously there's a lot more I could put in as well. But yeah, if you're interested in coming along though to one of these, they're based in the Peak District in the UK, sort of near Macclesfield area. I do it at the place called Freeshire. It's usually like coming to them, but we basically go for a hike and we do some nature mindfulness and walking meditation. We drink cacao, we connect to each other, we go wild swimming, and we just have a really nice retreat day where we just reset ourselves. And yeah, it's a lovely way to connect to nature and to other women. So if you're interested, let me know and I will find a way. I haven't arranged one yet, but I think one will be happening soon in April when the weather turns good. So yeah, that's exciting. That's what I can see awakening in spring, and my confidence is rising, and I feel good. So there you have it. There are 4 different ways that you can celebrate the spring equinox. You can go out in nature, you can drink some cacao, you can do some journal prompts to see how you want to be overall and how you want to grow and how you've been in the winter. And you can do some breath work to feel energized or to bring balance into your life. And I recommend choosing one of the breaths depending on what you feel you need most. So yeah, that's it for today's video. So thank you for watching. If you've made it this far and you like what you see, please subscribe or at least like my video, because I really appreciate it if you do. And I hope to see you again soon, next month, or maybe even, I think this is my 2nd video this month, so ooh, things are really blooming. Sorry, I'm cheesy, but yeah, thank you for watching and I shall see you again in another video. Oh, thank you.